John Coleman, is that a depressingly familiar story for your team today?
No, not at all. Because we've lost the last 5 games by 3 goals, conceding 3 goals in each one. None of them's been like that. We've been in every game. I didn't see it coming. Firstly, I've got to apologise to the Tavern fans on behalf of the players. I might add, because that second half performance just wasn't good enough. After a jittery first 5 minutes, I thought we controlled much of the first half, had the better openings, and the better opportunities. Kept them really at arm's length for most of the first half. After the first initial 5 or 10 minute spell. Second half we started bright. We had the ball in and down their box. And then a sloppy scramble, and they can go anywhere, you know, the ball's bouncing around the edge of the box. And they found the lads in space in the box and he's finished it well. And you can, you know, things like that happen in football, you've got to rise above that. It appeared to me like we threw the towel in after that, and that was unacceptable from any one of our teams. I've never seen it, didn't see it coming from this team. But then 8 minutes later you're 3 down and game's over. And Fleetwood haven't had to work for it. And then for big periods of the second half they're walking through us. Having shots on our goal that they didn't have in the first half. They've got their tails up. And it looks a comprehensive beating, and it is a comprehensive beating. You wouldn't have seen that coming in the first half. You know, we're desperate for a clean sheet, and then we turn in a performance like that. It's just unacceptable. It's unacceptable for the fans. It's unacceptable for me and the staff. And it's going to have to be hard work that gets us out of it. That's the only way around it.
How concerned are you by that 9 minutes, I think it was, that the 3 goals?
Very concerned, because I just didn't. I haven't seen that all season. I've seen us have a wobble when a team's gone on top of us, but Fleetwood's not the team who's going to get on top of us. We just seem to conspire to let them win the game. There didn't seem to be any fight to keep the ball out of our net. Second goal, you know, people are leaving men all over the park. Third goal, you can see to a corner, which we're one of the best in the league at defending from corners, but you know, if you don't pick your man up, you're likely to concede. And probably what put the top hat on it was young Leslie come on. He was lively when he come on, but you know, he has a great chance. I think it's a save by the keeper actually, but he should score that, you know. And that tells you when it's not your day. And we're desperate for a clean sheet. Fleetwood's desperate for a clean sheet. I don't think either team deserves a clean sheet today, but Fleetwood actually got one.
There'll be a lot said about the defending, obviously. You had openings in the game and didn't test Jay Lynch too much. Is that concerning as well? Very
concerning. And you know, little things like you try and put in place to go out the window. You ask them to do certain things and they don't do it, and that's frustrating. So you know, the logical solution is you change the personnel, but we haven't got much personnel to change with. So well, it's a frustrating thing, but you can't throw the towel in. I won't throw the towel in, and I certainly won't let them players throw the towel in. They've been told, there's no ranting and raving, they've been told quite clear and concise what's expected of them, and going forward what we're going to do about it, and that's going to be hard work, and if that means more training, that's what we'll have to do.
You spoke a couple of weeks ago about forget 50 points, you want to get 3 on the board. Is the next game just a priority?
That's all we want. Well, you know, at this moment in time, forget points. Can we concede less than 3? You know, because that's 5 on the spin. And this is no disrespect to Fleetwood, but I don't think Fleetwood had to do anything to score 3 against us today. And if we're going to be like that, we're both in serious relegation.
3 points above the relegation zone at the moment. Is that where you've got to be looking? Just keep away from that bottom 4?
Well, if we keep playing like we are, we won't keep away from the bottom 4, will we? Or we keep conceding the goals that we're conceding, we won't. And, you know, it's individual errors, and as a collective showing, that's what the thing that's bemused me most was the lack of fight after we went 1 goal down. 1 became 2 quite easily. And that's the disconcerting thing, because we haven't seen that all season. You know, we fought up 3 goals down against Bolton, against their Burn. And I look at the performance we turned in against away to Plymouth, the performance we turned in away to Peterborough, that didn't merit that. That did tonight. The second half did. We deserved to lose the game today just because of how we defended in the second half and how we showed no spirit. And that's something that's very, very difficult for me to take, because the team's got to represent my persona, and that's not my persona.